All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. So, my first question, Amelia, I'll start with you on this one. Each of you is here because you said that this election you voted for the very first time. And so I want to hear from each of you. Why did you decide to vote? Why participate in this election? So, Amelia, we'll start with you first.
Sure. So the last election, I was 19. So I was able to vote, but I didn't feel that I was educated enough on who to vote for to make a correct decision, and I didn't want to follow through with that. Now, this election, I'm a little bit older, and I think I have formed enough of an opinion to feel confident in my vote.
Great. How about Dylan C? You say you voted for the first time in this election. Tell me a little bit about why you decided to participate this time.
Yeah, so last election I was 17, so I was not able to vote, and now I'm 21. So basically, it was my first time being able to, and yeah, kind of like the same thing Amelia said. I just felt like I was able to form enough of my own opinion to be able to voice it.
How about you, Dylan B? What was your rationale for deciding to vote this time?
I just turned 19 in October, so I wasn't eligible for the last election, but I think it's important to vote because it's more of a responsibility to represent yourself and choose the people representing you. So that's why I voted.
Haley, how about you? You are a first-time voter. Why did you decide to participate in this election?
Yep. So last election I was able to vote, but I was out of state for school, and then I didn't feel it was worth the effort to try to deal with an absentee ballot for where neither candidate was someone I was that passionate about or that opinionated against. So this election I had a stronger opinion, so that made me more inclined to vote.
Got it. Nifemi, how about you? This was your first time voting. Why did you decide to participate in this election?
Personally, last time I didn't really care about the voting and everything like that, but over the last 4 years, I kind of, realized the impact of why it's necessary to vote. So I just feel like it was a huge responsibility for me personally to make sure I put my own opinion and my own decision out there to be effective.
Was there anything in particular that was the moment or the piece of information or the thing you heard that made you decide, okay, this time around I am going to vote?
Not necessarily, but I just feel like over the last 4 years, the way the society the way the president has impacted the society has been huge, and it's kind of important for me to put my voice out there if I want to make a change. Yeah, that's kind of what I would think. Yeah.
Alejandro, how about you? What was the reason why you decided to participate in this election?
Same as other people, I couldn't vote because I just turned 21. But I think it's our duty to vote, and I want to have my voice heard. And especially with these elections, I think it was especially important.
Brooke, how about you?
Yeah, some kind of like the others, I was also too young to vote last election, but I feel like it's really important to democracy to vote every time you can and be educated on the subject. And so I was really excited too this year.
So one thing I want to say up front is at no point do you have to say who you voted for. That's completely something that you can keep confidential. But I do want to ask a couple questions about your decision making around how you came to the decision that you did, and also around your decision to choose what method to vote. This time around, obviously, a lot of different states offered different options. So I want to start with you, Haley. I'll start with you for this question. You talked about how in the past you were out of state, and so it had been maybe more complicated to vote. What method did you use to vote this time?
I did mail-in ballot.
And why choose that method?
I didn't really want to take the risk of COVID of waiting online and the exposure to people. So I thought that was a good way to get my vote out, but remain safer.
Dylan B, how about you? What method of voting did you choose?
I voted in person.
Any particular reason why?
The town that I'm in is not too large, so the voting area was pretty easy to get to. I didn't have to wait in line, and it was pretty quick. It was my first time voting, so I I liked the fact that I was able to actually do it in person and not just sign a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm. Dylan C., how about you? What was the method you chose to vote?
Yeah, I chose the in-person voting. Kind of last minute, I did it on actual election day, but I don't know. I just kind of felt like I didn't trust the whole mail-in system. I'd rather just kind of go do it in person. Just know I got it done, not risking it getting lost or something.
Mm-hmm.